Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jamie Martin, hanging out with you this afternoon. Going to talk about a few different things. Got a lot of smoke across a big chunk of the U.S. Got a lot of things going on, especially along the Gulf Coast. Got a lot of showers, got a lot of thunderstorms. Not bad, too bad, at least in the Midwest. Boy, it was really nice over the weekend. Really nice at the beginning of the week because we had all that dry air coming in. That northwesterly flow, though, also helped pull in a lot of that smoke. So we're going to talk more about that coming up. In fact, let's go ahead and use the map, use the app right now, because I want to show you what's going on across the nation. Then we're going to talk to Aaron about how things are going up there in Canada right now. Talk to him a little bit about how it was last month, and hopefully things will get active once again. Keep them kind of busy out there coming up for this month. And of course, as we head into September, heading towards hurricane, boy, the height of it, that's what we got to talk about also. Let's go ahead and talk about the app right now, show you what's going on. I have that smoke put on top of it right now. The darker the area, that's where we see some of the thicker smoke. And right now it stretches all the way down here, all the way down towards Oklahoma City, just about down to Dallas-Fort Worth. You're right there on the edge of it, but you can see how thick that smoke is all the way back through parts of Nebraska, the Dakotas, Minnesota, over towards Wisconsin, even over towards Chicago. You're picking up some of that smoke too. That edge of the smoke travels all the way down through parts of Iowa and through Tennessee, and even down here, yep, down towards Florida here. That's where we are right now. And as you can see, it's stretching all the way to about Gainesville right now. It was right around Orlando also over the last couple of days, but that's actually shifted its way northward a little bit. So it has moved just slightly from that situation. Now, of course, we still have more smoke out in the west. In fact, it's shifted a little bit also. Check this out along the coastal sections of Oregon, Washington, and also down towards California. You can see what we're looking at right now. And again, we're talking about quite a bit of thick smoke in those locations. The smoke begins to dissipate, though, once you get down towards San Diego and southward, of course, into parts of Mexico itself. So again, that is the smoke. We just talked about that. Now let's take that out of there. I want to show you what else is going on because we are dealing with quite a lot of activity other than that. So let me take that out real quick for you. You can see some of the power outages. Boy, a big power outage here. That's out here in the southern parts of California. Unfortunately, we're seeing all that excessive heat, and they do have some problems out there with lots of heat in those locations. The rest of the state's not looking too bad, especially as I mentioned around the Midwest, things pretty quiet. But look at this, all the way around the coastal sections of the Carolinas, from North Carolina, Wilmington, all the way down through South Carolina, the coastal section, Savannah, and then back in the southern part here of Georgia and parts of the Panhandle of Florida. In fact, Tallahassee, over towards just about anywhere, Panama City. Yep, you're seeing some problems out there also with some of that rain that's been falling. So again, been seeing a lot of water coming down those locations. Now, I do also want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on here in the Pacific, because we do have a couple of systems we're still watching right now. And again, not amounting to a whole lot at the present time, but something that bears watching as we continue our way through the next couple of days here. We've got a couple of different systems that are out here in the Pacific. First one I'm going to talk about is Hilda, actually dropping back down to a tropical storm. It was a hurricane in a period of time, but it is now a tropical storm. And again, this is well off in the Pacific, not causing any major problems out there whatsoever, but we're watching it very carefully. And again, we're still watching more systems trying to develop here as we continue our way through the next day or so. And this is Ignacio. Yes, Ignacio. Right now, only a tropical depression. So that is good news. It's beginning to dissipate also. So as far as the Pacific goes, right now things not too bad, but we do have another area that we're watching developing possibly over here, just off of Costa Rica and Nicaragua at the present time. And we're going to talk about the Atlantic coming up in just a few minutes as far as what's going on there. But for now, though, let's go ahead and talk with Aaron. Let's bring Aaron into the house here and talk a little bit about how things are going up in Canada right now. We were talking a little bit before this, and boy, Aaron, it's really nice to talk to you because I do love to hear exactly what's going on in places that we usually don't talk about. We usually talk about the mainland U.S., and of course, we don't pay that much attention. Not that we don't care, but we have so much to talk about down here. But up there, boy, you guys have been very hot, very dry, haven't you?
Yeah, I used to live in Texas, and this reminds us. This summer here in Canada reminds me of being back in Texas, and we actually just got done doing a hike, and it's in the 90s here, 90 Fahrenheit, and hot and dry. And you're just talking about the smoke, and I don't know, you can see the sky is kind of this steely bluish, not even blue, it's just a grayish white sky here, and it's been really bad smoke here in the Canadian prairie. It's been a really bad drought, actually. This is the week 1 year ago where my fiance and I intercepted a beautiful tornado, photogenic tornado in Scarth, Manitoba. And this year has been almost no storms at all, very little rain. And I've been following that smoke. I was all the way down in Wisconsin this past week chasing storms. Made it all the way down to Illinois and then over to Iowa and then Nebraska, and the whole way all the way down that loop down to Nebraska and then back up here to Canada has been nothing but smoke, hot and smoke. So it's been a weird summer, a really dry summer, and I'm hoping as we get into fall here, we should start seeing that shift. I think we'll start seeing some cooler days, maybe some more rain, some organized rain events coming up here in the next couple of weeks in the Canadian Prairie, and hopefully try to put this.
Yeah, it definitely is one of those. It's very pretty behind you. I gotta say, it's absolutely gorgeous where you are right now. But of course, that's because we're on television. Well, it's kind of on television. You know what I mean? Basically, we don't feel just how hot and humid it is. So it's pretty dry too, though. So a lot of folks always say, well, the desert Southwest isn't so bad, even though it's 110 degrees. It's dry, so it doesn't feel bad. It still feels pretty hot, though, right? Okay. Okay. Looks like we have lost, unfortunately, Aaron. Sorry, Aaron. We actually lost your feed, and I was looking forward to that. We're going to get right back to what we were talking about coming up in just a moment. Sorry about that, Aaron. I appreciate it, though. Stay dry. I know you're staying true dry. You guys stay a little bit wet, actually. Let's get and see what's going on as far as conditions go around parts of the country here. As you can see, what we're going to be looking at here is this is Beaufort, South Carolina. And I want to take you over here to the weather stem. And as you can see, what's going on with the weather stem is going to be what we're looking at right now. And again, this is where we're seeing some problems out there with some possibility of some flooding and with some flash flood watches in effect for parts of coastal sections of North and South Carolina. And again, all the way down here towards the panhandle of Florida. So again, that's Beaufort, as you can see. Not looking terrible right now, though. But yeah, we definitely saw some showers earlier. Let's take a look right now a little bit farther, a little bit closer to home, a little bit farther south. And this is over towards Salinas over Park. That's in Florida. As you can see, we are definitely still looking at some pretty warm conditions there also, as you can see. We are talking about still some flood watches in effect for that part of the area, so we have to have some problems out there. But things actually improving a bit, a little bit of sunshine out there, but right along the edge there, around the parking area and stuff, you can see just how much rain has fallen in that location just over the last 24 hours. But again, hey, this is Florida. This is one of those places where you get these huge deluges of rain showers, and it only lasts for about 15, 20 minutes in some cases. It could even last for 2 or 3 hours, and then it'll be gone. You'll get some sunshine out there, and that should help things out just a little bit. Now, we're going to take you where they are seeing some of that smoke, as I was mentioning, right around Dallas-Fort Worth. A little bit ago, we were talking about that smoke, and that's why I wanted to take you over here to the Texas Motor Speedway. And you can see how things have been. Yeah, we're definitely looking at some problems out there, as you can see with the smoke. It's not terrible, but yeah, there's definitely some smoke, that's for sure. So do be aware of that. At least it is quiet right now, and we're not dealing with any strong thunderstorms, any major problems out there around Dallas-Fort Worth right now, at least in those locations. Let's go and take you a little closer to home, my home, that is. Not everybody, a lot of folks would love to be here, that's for sure. And that's in Orlando. I want to show you some of the shots we have from on top of our building. Yes, the place, it's our home. As you can see, we are looking right now at some pretty dark conditions as far as the clouds go, but had a lot of showers during the overnight hours. Some showers began to approach the area earlier this morning, but they began to push off. Now most of the heavy, really strong thunderstorms are off to the south. So right now, downtown Orlando, the city beautiful, is looking just fine. And in fact, no major problems, at least downtown, but there are plenty of showers in many locations. Let's go and take a look right around the area right now. Lake Nona, this is around Orlando, and you can see all that rain that was coming down. So that was coming down really hard in some spots. As I mentioned, this is how it is. You get a huge deluge of about an inch or two of rain real quick, and then it moves on. You start to dry things out. It does help kind of alleviate the temperatures for a little while, but the one thing it does make it awfully muggy, and that's exactly what we have out there today. Let's go and take a look right now a little bit farther south. This is around Bradenton, Florida. And yeah, that was definitely, look at these dark clouds. Boy, definitely on the dangerous side out there. When you see clouds like this, please, for goodness sakes, take care and make sure you go inside. The good news is this gentleman was able to get that shot out there, and nice safety of being on the edge of that storm instead of in the middle of it. But boy, I guarantee that was right on top of him after we got through with that. Now let's talk about something please do not do. Oh goodness, you tell people as many times as you want. It's like it just goes in one ear out the other sometimes. Don't go into flooded areas. Don't do it. As you can see, this is from Utah. And yes, you have very large trucks, and yes, I know that you feel very safe in it. However, it's very dangerous to do. And that's just with big trucks. There are people walking in those locations too. And even with the trucks, yeah, you can see that just gets water inside of your car, inside of your vehicle. It's not cool. Don't do it. It's too dangerous. But as you can see, Utah, that's one of the big problems that we've been seeing, in fact, over the last week or two, is the fact that we've had a lot of rain back out through parts of the Rockies, parts of the desert Southwest over towards Utah. And so that's the problem, is that basically we're beginning to pick up some of that heavy rain. And again, heavy rain for them is half an inch. You get flooding, unlike Florida, where you have to have 3, 4, 5 inches of rain to have flooding like this. However, but boy, you can see just unfortunately how things go with those storms that go through. Look at somebody with a van, not exactly what you want to use for an all-terrain vehicle, a van. And there's people with even smaller vehicles that end up going through this. So please be careful and don't drive in flooded roadways. Ah, goodness, I'll say it one last time, at least for now, but I'm going to keep saying it anyway. Let's get and talk about how things are going out there right now. Let me show you what's going on as far as the storms are concerned. You know, things have been very, very active out here along the Gulf Coast. This is where we've been seeing most of the showers, most of the thunderstorms today. And again, up over the coastal sections here, that front stalled. It will move a little bit to the south, a little bit to the north. So again, it's still stationary, so not really planning on going anywhere. And we've got these waves of low pressure riding along them. And as that happens, it kind of kicks things up. It's a little bit of an energy boost to pick up those showers and storms. So that's what we're looking at right now. Up towards the Midwest, parts around Chicago, Minneapolis, not looking bad at all. Billings looking pretty good, although it is on the hot side and unfortunately the dry side for some locations, but overall not too bad. So high pressure and control back there. Now we're still watching, again, everything kind of riding along that stationary front back here as we continue our way through the rest of today into tomorrow afternoon by 3 p.m. Still going to see the opportunity for more showers and storms continuing in those locations. So that area of low pressure is going to kind of kick stuff off right outside of New Orleans. So if you're over there, Baton Rouge maybe, going to pick up some pockets of heavy rain. And of course, back out through parts of the panhandle of Florida. So again, lots of showers over towards there. You can see that big bright area of red around Tampa, around Clearwater, St. Pete. Yeah, so opportunity for some very strong storms coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. Once again, riding right across Orlando. And here we are watching things getting very active also right along the coastal sections here, not only of the Carolinas, but also as that low moves closer, moves overhead. Also over towards New York, around Long Island, especially the eastern section of Long Island, back out towards Rhode Island, over towards Connecticut, and especially Cape Cod and over towards Boston, Portland, Maine, Bangor. You're going to see the opportunity for some pockets of heavy rain in those locations also as we get through the rest of our Wednesday and even into our Thursday afternoon. Here's a look right now at the temperatures. Let's talk some temperatures. Boy, you can tell that we definitely have that area of low pressure just off of the coastal sections here of Cape Cod, because look at this, Boston, 74 degrees. Yes, 74, not for a low. That's what we usually get for Florida for a low. 74 for a high coming up tomorrow around Boston. So you can tell that we're pulling in that cooler air coming in off the Atlantic. 71 degrees in Portland, 82 though in Burlington, 84 degrees in Syracuse, 84 also in Pittsburgh. 85 in Columbus, so looking pretty good out there. Lansing 85, 86 degrees in Chicago, not bad, because Chicago, yeah, it can get hot pretty quickly. 88 degrees in DC coming up for tomorrow. How about to the south here, as you get towards Myrtle Beach, because of the clouds, the showers picking up only 82 for a high. So again, right around the coastal sections of the Carolinas, even Virginia, we're going to see the opportunity for those showers and storms keeping you cooler. 89 in Memphis, 90 in Little Rock, 83 degrees over towards Springfield. Okay, yep, we're talking the 90s again. That's once you get along the Gulf Coast, even with the clouds and the occasional showers. Still going to be on the hot side. 91 in Mobile, 91 in New Orleans, 93 in Houston, 93 degrees also in Shreveport. Not quite as bad, in fact, only mid to upper 80s, about where we should be this time of the year. For Orlando, also Tampa, with those showers occurring. And then back out here towards the Rockies, still going to be on the warm side, upper 80s and lower 90s around Denver and down towards Colorado Springs. Cheyenne, 89 degrees, 92 around Albuquerque, and then 93 degrees around El Paso. And yeah, you want some hot conditions. It's going to be once again back out here through the desert Southwest. And yeah, it may not be 117, but it's still pretty darn hot out there. 112 in Yuma, 113 in Palm Springs, 112 in Las Vegas. So yeah, that's going to be on the atrociously hot side once again. Compare that to Los Angeles, 73 degrees there. Beautiful in San Diego. Maybe I should just go check that out personally, make sure it's still nice. 76 degrees in San Diego, always nice there. San Francisco, 68 degrees, so nice and pleasant there along the coast. Not too bad around Seattle. It's still going to be in the 80s, but not bad at 82 degrees. 93 in Spokane, 93 in Boise, and then getting a little warm once again, as we were talking just a minute ago with Aaron, just how warm it is, just even all the way from the Dakotas and parts of Montana, back out in parts of Canada right now. It is dry, and it is on the hot side. 95 degrees in Billings, 92 around Helena, about 84 degrees though in Fargo, and only 79 degrees around Minneapolis, so looking pretty good there. So we've talked about that. Now let's talk about, we talked earlier about what was going on as far as the Pacific was concerned. Let's go ahead and see what's going on as far as the tropical conditions are concerned. Yeah, we're keeping an eye on things going on around, the Gulf of Mexico, besides the fact that we're dealing with those scattered showers out along the actual Gulf Coast itself, around Louisiana, parts of northeast Texas, around Houston, Galveston, picking up a few showers and storms all the way back to Florida. But other than that, you get into the central and southern parts around the Bay of Campeche, hey, we're not looking at any major problems out there. And again, this is usually this time of the year. It's still an active situation normally, but really very, very quiet there. So to go down to the Caribbean, same situation. Got a few clouds here and there. No major problems. Now, let's get and talk about the open Atlantic, because it has been on the quiet side. One thing you have to be aware of, though, we are beginning to watch a little more activity coming in off of Africa and out into the Atlantic. So far, things have really dissipated very quickly. They're beginning to hold together a little bit more than they were before. So again, right along the edge here, we're beginning to see these areas of low pressure moving their way off into the Atlantic. Right now, we're at 0 as far as the chance of things forming. But of course, that can change by tomorrow. It all depends on how things continue to form or fall apart back out here in the open Atlantic. So for now, things aren't much of a problem. And again, that's way out in the open Atlantic. Even if it were to develop in something, we have so much time to watch it, from the Leeward and Windward Islands all the way back towards Puerto Rico, all the way towards Hispaniola. So if it even were to turn into something, still got a lot of time to watch it. That's why you got to make sure you keep that app handy, because we keep you updated on that there also. But right now, we're not looking at it turning into anything. But we are watching things, as I mentioned, kind of holding together a little bit more than they were earlier. So that's one thing we want to keep a very close eye on as far as that goes. So that's as far as the tropics are concerned. Now, we do have something that is very interesting right now. I am in for Leslie, and that means Leslie is somewhere right now. Leslie, in fact, is right now is over in the Turks and Caicos, and she's got some information. In fact, she's going to come back with a whole lot to talk about. She was able to actually learn a little bit more about what's going on. In fact, take a look at what she has coming up. Yeah, so again, we've got a lot of stuff out there. She is always on the busy side. Boy, I tell you what, we sent her on vacation, and she sent stuff back for us to actually air. So that's kind of nice out there. And this is the time of the year when things are quiet. Now is a really good time, not only to watch what we have coming up and what Leslie put together for us. Now is a really good time to make sure that you have all of your plans ready. I'm not saying go out there and start putting your plans together and brush and practice or anything like that. But just make sure that you do have your plan ready, just in case you need to instrument it. But for now, things are quiet as far as the tropics are concerned. But again, that could change just about at any time. So again, that's something we definitely want to be aware of. So again, that is what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and take a look right now. Hey, I tell you what, besides getting things like battery, stuff like that, why not get something that looks really cool too? Hey, we could do that. Trust me, I actually have a couple of different shirts, that's for sure. This is what you can see if you would like to actually check it out. This is going to be the store. Yes, you can check it out. You can use the promo code SUMMER10 for 10% off of your entire order, and you can check some of these things out. Boy, I tell you what, MyRadar stuff is actually rather clever looking. I actually am very proud of that. So right there, as you can see, don't forget, just go to store www.myradar.com, and you can pick some up. And actually, truthfully, those things fit really nice. They actually make you look a little bit slimmer and a little more, maybe a little bit stronger and athletic than you might be like me. Actually, of course, I'm very athletic. I'm from Florida. We're outside practicing and doing stuff all the time. So there you go. Hey, you know what? Something else that is actually having fun all the time? Animals, dogs, cats, bearded dragons. I've got them all at my house right now. But let's talk about our Feel Good Friday and just have a little hint of what's going on. This is my little puppy. This is the one that we have right now. And as you can see, she is absolutely gorgeous. This is Flo, or Floran, and she's actually with a couple of her friends, including our other pet, our other puppy, that's Winnie, and also the regular black lab, that is actually one of our friends. And this was King. King was over for a little visit. Boy, they were all having fun out there. Boy, yeah, you can see just have good time. And I tell you what, make sure you have wood floors if you have 2 big dogs, that's for sure, or 3 big dogs. And we also have a couple cats running around there at the same time, as I mentioned. And again, this is something that's actually kind of fun because of the fact that we live in Florida. Yes, it gets very hot. We have a pool, thankfully, that they like to go in also. But even looking at the pets, you can get out with the pets and go out there and have a good time no matter where you live and have a good time. But whether you're in the desert Southwest, make sure that you have plenty of water for your pets. Whether you're up in the Midwest right now, it's actually gorgeous right now. However, they had those big storms even about 2 weeks ago, even around Chicago, they were having a bunch of storms. Just always be aware of the fact that you've got your pets out there that you have to take care of. And that does also include, of course, what goes on during hurricane season. So make sure as you're preparing yourself and preparing your family, your friends, or helping them do their stuff, make sure you always have stuff also planned for your pets. So right now things looking pretty quiet as far as the tropics are concerned. But again, still got some more showers, some more storms over the next couple of days out along the Gulf Coast and parts of the Mid-Atlantic and even up towards New England. We'll, of course, keep you updated on that. And we'll have the very latest, of course, as always, at all times, right there with your fast forecast. We'll see you later.